Hi, I'm Mark Cleghorn and welcome to Pose-Tober on the Photographer Academy, and we're looking at boudoir photography and how you can add different ideas into your session to either spice it up or just to add more variety. So every day on the Academy, we're adding one new image in for you, and you can check up here on our YouTube channel to kind of see the same content, but obviously our members get it ahead of time. But the Pose-Tober series is focused obviously on boudoir photography and their kind of how-to, so I'll explain the poses step by step. We can also look at why to add them in, perhaps into your sessions to add that variety. But I'm sure that during the 31 ideas that we're giving you during the course of the month, you're going to be able to take it away, whether it's classic, creative, different moods and styles, different body shapes. You'll be able to actually add in the different kind of styles, as I said. So welcome to week 5, the last week in our Pose-Tober, where we're concentrating on the boudoir photography and giving you an idea a day. This week we're kind of finishing with more creative and more theme kind of based images and things. And my first one of the week is pose 29. This is concentrating really more on the light and shadow play than it is on the actual pose, because we're into the creative element. So this is where we could use projection lighting, coloured light coming from a stained glass window, gels on flashlight, shadows from blinds, lace, create patterns on the body. Some way to add texture and add dramatic light into our image is really what 29 is about. So it's about experimenting and playing with other things. Even if we're using a room light, a little side lamp next to a bed, perhaps covering it with some coloured cloth to change the whole mood and the tone within the coloured kind of photography that you're doing for your boudoir. What we're actually seeing in front of us here is the likes of a projection shining onto the body and onto the bodysuit here specifically. But I usually shoot the kind of the nude, or at least the back of the subject nude, with the actual projection play. And you can watch this on Academy, of course. But this is great where you can kind of find images or create images, shoot images. In this case, it's like a neon effect of a street scene, and just adding them on to kind of your laptop and then shining them through your projector and so on will give you great ideas. As far as the next thing is concerned, you could basically use spotlights, attachments to go onto your speed light or studio flash that can throw the likes of a pattern, a focused pattern on there. And of course, you can add some colored gels to kind of take the image to the next level. As far as the play is concerned, one of the simplest ways to do it, especially if you're working in a kind of a natural light kind of boudoir shoot, is looking for very harsh sunlight coming through coloured glass or coming through coloured netting or coloured material or textured material. That alone kind of focuses in on the body, and as you turn the body and move camera position, you will completely engage with a different type of texture and pattern that the body then kind of absorbs and shows off. If you've got a client with the likes of a nude lingerie set on, coloured to do with their skin, or they're actually nude, the coloured lighting will really kind of give you some great textures and shapes. And as I said already, it will kind of take your photography into a much more kind of creative level. But even if you were to hang some textured material like lace in front of a hard light source like a speed light or a studio flash that isn't being diffused by a softbox, you will definitely throw shapes and patterns. You could even try and cut shapes in cardboard or kind of board, and then shining the light through it to kind of mimic Venetian blinds and so on. So you can create a different effect of your lighting falling on the subject's body by just kind of manipulating what is between the light source and the actual subject's body. Now, depends on the focus element of the light, how hard the light is, and the distance that the material or the card is placed between the subject and the actual light source will kind of allow it to either be more of a focused light or a little bit more of diffuse light. So it's kind of worth playing around with those things. But again, for me, playing now in the creative element with lighting and shadow can actually take our boudoir photography to the next level. So try, if you've got a projector, or borrow one from work or whatever it will be, add some kind of colored photographs onto the subject's body. I've kind of shot with photographs that I've taken on the beach of sand and stones and pebbles and so on with it, as well as water. But you can basically then try stained glass. You can go down to the local scrapyard and be able to pick up an old stained glass window for just 10 quid, 20 quid, and even then you can shine your studio flash or speedlight flash through it, even if you can't actually get the sunlight because you live in Wales like me. But again, things like shadows from blinds or creating the effect of shadows from blinds will create these textures across the body that will take your boudoir photography in a slightly new direction. If you'd like to see some more content on the Photographer Academy, simply go over to thephotographeracademy.com. And if it's boudoir photography you're interested in, just scroll onto portrait, then kind of scroll down to boudoir, click onto that, and you'll see a whole host of different kind of topics for you to actually click onto. And any of the orange banners then takes you to the pages where you can actually follow that through to see more of our content.